The stranger, who changed everything. The bustling city of Lagos, amidst the bright lights and busy streets, a young mother named Kora wandered through the evening crowds, her eyes filled with exhaustion. In her arms, she cradled her sick baby girl, Kyla, barely a year old and burning with fever. No home, no money, and nowhere to turn. The world had grown cold around her as hunger gnawed at her stomach and her baby whimpered weakly. Kora made a desperate decision. She entered a popular restaurant in Lekki, filled with laughter, music, and the sweet aroma of food. In a corner seat, a man named Silas sat alone, a real estate mogul, known across the city for his fortune, but few knew of the sorrow that weighed his heart. Silas had lost his wife and only son in a tragic accident. Since then, life for him was a silent room filled with echoes of memories. Stared blankly at his untouched plate of fried rice and chicken. A soft, hesitant voice broke through the noise. Heads turned. "Excuse me, sir." Whispers filled the air. Silas lifted his gaze and saw Kora standing there, her face pale but humble, her arms wrapped around her frail child, whose big, tired eyes fixated on the plate. Something stirred in Silas, a memory of his own child, the love he lost, and the ache he still carried. Without hesitation, "Please take it," he said gently. Tears. "Thank you, sir. Thank you so much." She carefully emptied the food into a small plastic bag, cradling it as if it were treasure, then turned to leave. Something in her reminded him of his family, the helplessness of loss, and the desperate hope of survival. Left some cash on the table, and followed her at a distance through winding. He watched Kora slip inside an abandoned bus, parked beside a dilapidated building, her shelter from rain and cold nights. About the woman and her child, about his own family, and about how fate tests us in cruel ways. Then he, "What's the point of wealth if it can't lift someone up?" Silas instructed his staff to prepare a fully furnished apartment with everything a mother and baby would need. Every day after that, by the bus baby formula, warm clothes, and food. One day, Kora found a note inside one package. She held the paper close to her heart, though she had no phone. When baby Kyla's fever worsened dangerously, Kora rushed to the nearest hospital. At the moment before treatment, Kora begged them to help her child. Desperate, she borrowed a phone and sent a text message to the number she had kept saved. "Baby is very sick. We're at St. Thomas General Hospital." Lying in bed when his phone vibrated. Reading the message, his heart pounded. He leapt up, grabbed his car keys, and raced through the store. "Get a doctor now," he commanded, his voice firm. Kyla was rushed for treatment. Kora, overwhelmed, knelt at his feet and "Please don't kneel," Silas said softly, lifting her up. Silas quietly left, but he wasn't done. The next evening, one of Silas's staff arrived at the hospital to pick her. They drove through the city, finally stopping at a peaceful residential estate. When Kora stepped inside the apartment, her baby food, fresh clothes, and toys of life she had forgotten could exist. "This home is yours now," the man told her. Kora wept. She demanded to see the man behind this miracle. Moments later, standing in Silas's office, she fell to her knees again. "Thank you, sir. You've saved us. You deserve a second chance, Kora. We all do." Then, he offered her a job and has killed your life, one step at a time. The next chapter began. Who had once disowned her out of shame and fear, was later reunited with her daughter and grandchild in a moving reunion filled with tears and forgiveness, and her dignity restored. Months later, Kora stood on her apartment balcony, father overseas, watching little Kyla play. He had learned the truth and wanted to take responsibility. Hope, once a stranger, had returned. The moral kindness doesn't require. One simple act of compassion can rewrite someone's. No matter how small, do it. You never know the chain of miracles you might spark. Kindness wins in the comments. Subscribe for more true African moral stories.